Thank you, gentlemen. That was a great show. What should we call it?
I agree.
Thank you.
I have ideas.
Jenny's here!
I made it.
She made it.
Let's see.
Oh, boy.
What's your ideas?
You came in like a wrecking ball.
Woo! But with more clothing on.
Thankfully. Cold out there.
Yep. All right, so Nest drops the drop cam. Nest drops the drop. A paper white forever voyaging,
Poetic.
which I like just for its poetry.
Beautiful.
That was TVZ Gun, by the way. Microsoft's War of Egos. I reject a reality and substitute E3s. And Rhythm's Gonna Get Ya. Which, hey, let's see.
That Rhythm's Gonna Get You was pre-show, wasn't it? I don't know. Did I say? I don't remember how that came up.
No, that was in the show.
Was it? Okay.
It was right at the beginning when you're talking about filling in.
Oh, right.
I am a fan of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was to say I called you the Gloria Estefan of tech.
That's right. That did happen.
I like Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Really good.
Yeah, that's really good. That was who did that?
Fred.
Fred. But I'm looking for like a VR.
Right said, Fred.
What is it good for?
Oh, that was Beatmaster. Beatmaster made that one before the show even started.
Let's see.
Good God, y'all.
I don't. Those were the tops.
Okay, VR. What is it good for? Is the best main discussion related title. But we got some really good other ones here. Do you guys have a preference? Did anyone tickle your boat?
The Keeping Up with the Drones has really got me.
Yeah, I like the Drones one.
All right, I think that's. I think we all agree. Keeping Up with the Drones is the title.
God, it connects directly to my irrational fear of kids destroying drones on my front yard.
It might not be irrational in a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll buy that rocking chair for Christmas.
And then they're going to be accused of like, not racism necessarily, but like areaism because, well, we're not sending drones to Oakland, downtown Oakland just yet, but we'll start in, Sunnyvale somewhere, beautiful no crime area. Like
Sunnyvale has crime.
I couldn't think of another one, but you know what I mean. Like
I think the only one that would be what's the Sausalito?
Yeah.
I mean, there's everyone there's rich, so
The drones of Marin.
Oh, Belvedere. Belvedere will be the one that's like no drones. We're doing our rich people things.
Can you imagine all the pranks people will pull?
That's my point, man. Even if it's just, even if it's simple stuff like the drone lands, drops it, kid runs up real quick, ties a condom to the end of it full of Jello or something, and now off flies the drone with a condom full of Jello.
What about the drone that automatically TPs your house, and then you can't reach it because it's all the way like on the roof?
Yep.
Right, because if we weren't for drones, kids would never play pranks on anyone.
Yes.
No, it would take him more time, and then you could physically catch up with them.
Yeah, it's
Bring him by the neck.
It's fertile new ground is all I'm getting at.
True.
Fertile. I mean, if I was 14, this sounds like the best time to be alive. If you tell me there's drones parking around the house.
And by the way, Raj, with full understanding and compliments, go whenever you need to. If you need to crash.
Oh yeah, no problem. I
eat
think
your sandwich.
Well, no, the ice cream's gone. I'm good.
I just did what you feel like. I know what it's like when you're trying to prop yourself up.
Yeah. No. I think I just have to make myself presentable for. I got Blizzard this afternoon at some point. I'm just trying to figure out when.
Oh, tell them we say hello.
Yeah. Who's your guy? I don't know who's down there right now.
Jeremy, I think.
Oh,
Scott gets paid in Ferraris to say nice things about. We all know that.
Gold and transmog gear. That's
where are we? The Australian contact's my regular one, Dan.
Oh, I know Dan.
Yeah. And he has hooked me up with.
Is it Heroes of the Storm stuff? Is it StarCraft?
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm. They had a big launch in Sydney last week, I think, on Tuesday. But I couldn't go up there. So
I'm obsessed with that game. But they actually showed that was the best part of that PC conference yesterday was that reveal.
Can you explain like that was just this is extra stuff we're going to have in the release, yeah?
Yeah. So the way they're doing this, it's like a 2 or 3 month period, and they're just calling it kind of the Diablo period. So basically, what they're doing is they're adding a bunch of new Diablo-based heroes to Heroes of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
The big map they're releasing is that Eternal Conflict thing, and that is it's a Diablo-themed map, which is one of the first themed maps of any of their franchises. Everything else is
That's the thing they showed off at the Heroes of the Storm YouTube event that I was at.
They did show that.
Map.
So last night,
cool.
the Heroes of the Storm YouTube event showed that map, and then they showed the Butcher as the new character. Last night, and they had released Johanna the Crusader just before that, so we were already playing her. So now last night's reveal was that the next hero will be Leoric, King Leoric, the Skeleton King, and also the monk is in that video, so he's being worked on. He's the first healer out of the Diablo characters, and that's it. I think those are the main reveals. But they're just and there's a big theory that Deckard Cain will be like the last character they do at the end, and then they'll move on and like do a StarCraft theme for a while, and then they go back and do a WoW theme for a while, and just part of their rollout. I really like what they're doing with it, though. It makes me spend money. Game is really good.
I've only played it. I played maybe 4 or 5 hours worth. Foibles just never grabbed me, and I know this is different in many ways, but I'm struggling to get hooked.
You're not alone. I went into it. I've never liked MOBAs. I went in thinking, another one. I don't even care if it's Blizzard. I don't like MOBAs, and it didn't click with me for a while. But the day it clicked, it just turned into a whole new world for me, and I'm having more fun here than I've had in probably years with multiplayer.
Yeah, because Kanata won't shut up about it.
He's a total. Yeah, he and I are. We're making each other sick of each other. In fact, he's really fun to play with. He gets really mad at the other team. But yeah, he's an evangelist for sure. And my guess is, I think they're gonna do well with it. A lot of people thought it'd be hard to come in and be a third wheel in this MOBA space, and I think they're doing it.
Oh, Heroes of the Dawn. It
was huge.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well done. Very excited about BlizzCon and what that'll mean.
More Blizzard stuff.
Yeah, probably.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I doubt there will be EA announcements, although.
Yeah.
I just want them. I just wanted them to finish StarCraft Ghost. I really wanted that game.
You're that guy.
Yeah, that guy. I'm the guy that buys a GameCube because I wanted to play Rogue Squadron. Like, I want to play that game. I said, I guess I have to buy this Square thing.
That was actually worth it, though. Rogue Squadron and SXX Tricky were the things that I played constantly on the GameCube.
Games. Yeah, I didn't know that. I love those games.
Yeah.
Tom, a new thing we have in common.
With backwards compatibility, gents. You too can have your memories destroyed.
Dude,
no. People say that some games still hold up.
Yeah,
it really depends on the game. I had Beyond Good and Evil on the original Xbox, and I still had the disc, and it worked. It didn't work on the Xbox 360, so I bought the HD revamper. It's the same game, just the graphics have been scaled up. I still love it. It's still a good game.
Yep.
Good games never die.
Raj, tell me if I'm right about this. The two trends I saw this year's E3 overall that weren't overt, but people may not notice it if they don't think about it, but lots and lots and lots of female protagonists. That was number one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They all look great. And then number two, games that feature yarn in it.
Yeah.
A lot of yarn going on.
A lot of yarns being told.
It's only 2 that I can think of.
Oh, that's true. I just, for some
I
reason,
thought there were 3. I thought there was one from every platform.
Unravel, Yoshi's Woolly. I don't know what the other one is.
Didn't Sony have one?
Hold on. They had something like that.
Could have sworn they had one.
Brief history of yarn.
Probably Knitting Hero or something. Wouldn't that be great? You would have like 2 little knitting thingies, and you would just virtually knit yourself a sweater that you can't wear in real life.
Oh, do you knit? Yeah, well, I played Knit Hero. No, I don't knit.
Yeah, on hard.
There is a game called Knitting Mania, but it's a 2009 Canadian iPhone game. But that's, yeah, I thought there was a third, but I can't
I
find it.
thought there was two.
Oh, Broken Age had a bunch of knitting in it. Well, anyway, that was
I still have not finished that game.
The common thread for me was new IP. Everyone said the words, "we have new IP," and then played either something that was 10 seconds long and made no sense whatsoever,
Right.
or actually gave a proper demo. So it's good. I shouldn't complain about new IP, but it seemed like they were rushing. They were all trying to say, "Look, we're not doing a sequel," or "No, it's not a prequel."
Right.
Sony showed that I can never remember the name of, the one with the girl and the dinosaurs that were robots.
Horizon.
Horizon looks so. That's the single thing of this entire E3 that really blew my mind.
I had a close look yesterday, and to me, it's Lara Croft rebooted with what was that original PS3? Heavenly Sword.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Is that Guerrilla? It's also Guerrilla Games, I think. The same
Yeah,
company.
it could have been. Yeah, it looks a lot better up close than what it did graphic wise. It looks really, really tight up close.
This concept, Roger, you'd love this. This concept of like mankind has died out. Our husks of old cities are just there as relics.
Why would I like this?
Well, here's why. Because then humans are like cavemen again. They're starting over, sort of, and they just know these ancient stories of this civilization long gone. But the animal life in the world appears to be all like robots that were left after we all died out. Machines were left to evolve naturally, almost as wildlife, without any controls or anything. And so weird animals and creatures all over the place, including big dinosaur-y looking things, are these big robotic machinery things.
So all the animatronics from Disneyland somehow come to life, and we'll see descendants of the animatronic Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and
the only answer to animatronic Abe Lincoln and his dear wife Chuck E. Cheese.
And it'll be just like V'ger from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, where you need to communicate to them in some very simplified, basic electrical language, like Morse code or something. Really?
I did get a closer look at Last Guardian as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looked really good to me too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, do they have enough to be able to make a call at this point?
What they showed behind doors was another 5 minutes on the front of what they showed at the conference, which scares me.
Because they didn't have that much to show?
In other words, they only have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So is it...
And it looks exactly like it did in 2009.
Yeah.
That's another thing that scares me.
Is this the same group that did Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, same guys. Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus.
It was just the one puzzle sort of area, and that was it. But when it was jammed in between seeing Horizon, then you watch another 15 minutes of Last Guardian, and then you watch 30 minutes of Uncharted 4, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
It kind of picks the middle one up a little bit, so I'm not holding my breath for The Last Guardian anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to. Well, they've been on it for so long. Who knows what the crap's going on?
Yeah. Now I'm meeting Josh Witecki.
Sure.
Not Josh Mascara.
Nope.
That's the Diablo head. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I thought you knew everyone.
Well, I did too. I guess I'm not as in their back pocket as we all thought.
By the way, I've been meaning to tell you, Scott, I am very pleased as a listener with the idea that the instance will formally branch out into covering Blizzard properties.
Well, that's good feedback. Yeah, we haven't had any negative reaction. I think it may be just the right time. It felt right, and everybody was feeling that way. And
I've always kind of wanted that. And I know, like, you've had, the memes of, like, stick to the topic and everything. But I've always liked when you branched out into the other.
It's
IPs.
very freeing. It's a very like last week, especially all four of us. I just felt like this weird release on the show of like Oh yeah, we can talk about Hearthstone to our heart's content if we want, because something big happened this week, and if Heroes is a big talk, we'll do that. And guess what? The WoW patch, ooh, great! Like it was always kind of a Blizzard enthusiast show anyway. I feel like I'm just now bowing to the powers that be. It's just the way it's.
Well, when you started the show, World of Warcraft was the predominant thing that Blizzard did.
That was their game,
you know, and you're just following Blizzard's own path, which is like World of Warcraft's still very big, not abandoning it, but gotta branch out into other things to keep growing.
It's in a weird way. I'm almost the show is mimicking what they are doing.
Yeah,
and I was talking to Chris Metzen about that, and he talks about how freeing that's been for those guys, and it's weirdly freeing for me. I don't feel nearly as not stifled, not the word. I just was always toey and had to be careful, and now I don't feel that way, and I haven't had a single complaint. So I feel like maybe it was the right time too. You know, like it wouldn't have worked a year ago or 2 years ago or something.
And ELR's coming back next month as a part of that?
Everybody's all set for ELR's big comeback all the time. I get that every week, I swear.
I think your answer, Scott, should always be, yeah, ELR's comeback is next week, every time you're asked.
A lot of people really miss that show.
Yeah, I missed that show, too.
I missed that show. It was great. We had
that was one of my first big podcast talks.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have a fond memory of it. And with the comic hitting 14 years, that means the show hitting about, well, officially the show hitting about 10 years. Feeling pretty nostalgic about all of it. One day, though.
And old.
Maybe I'll get O and we'll do some kind of one-off sometime just to make everybody happy and have them realize that it wasn't as good as they thought it was. No, this is like playing an old video game. It's like, I don't know. What's a game? I can't think of one. Like, everyone thinks Banjo-Kazooie was the end-all, be-all on the N64. It's not really that great.
Toy Bazaar on the Commodore 64.
There you go.
Amazing game.
You just do a one-off show called ELR Backwards Compatible. Or something.
There you go. That's not bad. How about Shenmue? Because I think everyone was so excited about the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, and I went,
No,
that game's not good. That's a bad game.
You know what? This is the thing. People love Shenmue, really love it, and people who like, I'm sort of ambivalent. I can see where people like it. One of the things that really bugged me about the game, and this might just be a very like hardcore, like I can see a hardcore guys really liking the game, but like it's just really tedious to get to the fun part. Like to play through it is just really like it's work. Like, and it's not fun. Like, I'm enjoying myself. It's like, oh, I got to ask all these people the same freaking question about the car and the kittens. And then, oh, I get to drive a forklift. Ooh. Like, if I wanted to live a dull life, I wouldn't have to play a video game because my life is sort of dull already.
Because you drive a forklift.
Yeah. Well, have you really? I mean, it's at the hype. That video games are about escapism. It's not about taking over someone else's, mediocre life. And it is. It's a pretty mediocre. I don't know. People. I'll probably get pilloried for this, but it's just the story's just very so-so. It's not at all that interesting. I don't know.
Well,
angry
on
emails
that
are coming in.
uplifting note, I'm out of the post.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned for Sword and Laser's interview with Beth Cato following PM Magazine's look at a monkey who's bananas for basketball.